The leadership of the People's Democratic Party has announced the composition of its presidential campaign council with the Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel as the council's chairman. In a document released on Wednesday and signed by PDP National Organizing Secretary Bature Umar, the Bauchi State Governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, was named the vice chairman of the campaign council for the North, while the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is the southern vice president. River State Governor Nyesom Wike, who had been at the center of the party's crisis, was listed as a member of the council. Similarly, Wike's ally, Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State, made the list as the member of the council as well. Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal was made Director General of the presidential campaign, while former governor of Cross River State, Leo Limoke, was made Deputy Director General of Operations, and other members of the council. The Presidential Campaign Council was divided into 4 categories of directorates, with Adewale in charge of the Directorate of Administration, Directorate of Finance, and Directorate of Legal Affairs. Joining us now to discuss the composition of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council and its ability to deliver victory for the party, given the clamor for inclusivity in the party, is Arise analyst Kayode Otitoju. Great to have you on Newsday. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
What do you make of these appointments? Do you think this is going to be enough to settle some of this rancor that has been within the party due to the lack of representation?
Well, the composition is all inclusive, and it comprises both the loyal members and some disgruntled or dog sitting in the manger. That is, they won't work for the party, and yet they will remain in the party. There are about 326 members of the council, and one would have expected that if Udom, who is the chairman of the council, is number 1, one would have expected that Wike's name should be, within the first 3, okay? But accidentally, Wike's name is number 13. Why are you is number 4? I think that is a sort of misnomer in the sense that Wike came second during the convention, what we call primaries, and if things should go the normal way, okay, his name should run within number 3. So, Ayu, I don't know, Ayu is number 4. Why Wike is number 13, I think. Yeah, number 13. The problem with PDP in not listening to Wike may cause them the election. Why? Structures are made, like the 326 people constitute structure in their own, because these are past chairmen of party, governors, ministers, who is who in Nigeria, and they cut across all the geopolitical zones, even up to the world's level. So these people are the growth posts. They are the points of, the rallying point for the political party to win election. And if someone like Wike, that has allies like Seyi Makinde and Ortom, is saying, remove this chairman because he doesn't have electoral value, why can't you listen to him? What electoral value is Ayu? He can't win his word. Whereas Wike controls, apart from his state, because he has rendered people like the former Minister of Transport, what's the name?
Rotimi
Amaechi of APC. He has rendered them, irrelevant in political system. And some of the guys that are within Rivers, like former that senator, the guy from Ogoniland, is already with SDP. He said he will be with SDP, but during presidential election, he will vote for Tinubu. So you see, even Wike, the body language is APC. Why he is still in PDP? So you see, when you see the names of who is who, 326 people, if they are together, if they unite, they can change the status quo. They can. Because to win election, the strategy, structure is everything. And everything is structure. Why, when I was listening to the polls conducted by my very good friend, the former chairman of IBTC, when I was listening and I just saw that actually this was mere academic exercise. Because how can you say someone without structure? And structure in politics, we mean you control, either directly or indirectly, the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. The party right there now is APC. They control, to some extent, those structure. The PDP had controlled it before, and there's still much around because there are some states that belongs to them. Okay? But Labour, without even the House of Assembly, you can't say it's ranked number one. It's not possible. Everything is structure. And PDP has tried in putting its own structure in place. That's apart from the real political structure of legislative and whatever. The people, the 326 of them, constitute structure because they have followers. They are political bigwig, and they are men of timber and caliber in their various domains.
Mr. Ositoju, sorry to interrupt you. While we're talking about structure, yes. In one breath, you're saying that they should listen to Governor Wike's yes. call to remove Ayu. On the other breath, their presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, is saying that we follow the process of constitution in this party. We don't just remove individuals from office.
You don't have to be rigid. You don't have to be rigid. You have to be flexible.
Will the PDP not be digging themselves into a hole if they abandon constitutional processes of appointing and removing people from offices to please an individual in the party? And will the opposition, the ruling party, excuse me, will they not eat them for supper if they start denigrating to pleasing individuals and deferring away from their constitution?
You see, their constitution was made by them. It could be reviewed, it could be tampered with. Tactically, to suit this purpose, they can do some adjustment, all right? Without Wike, they can't have the South-South. Because South-South comprises of Rivers, Edo, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and where else? And Delta. Delta is okay because the vice presidential candidate is from there. But Wike, to have come second, and with just that margin that is now up to, is it up to 50,000? Okay, means that it's a force to be reckoned with across board. And so, if not minding his overbearing attitude, if he says this is how things should go, and this is what condition precedent that will make me support, then why can't you listen to him? He said, remove Ayu. I've told you Ayu has no electoral value. And I mean it. If you want me to elucidate, I can. Right? So, we are here to analyze for our rights. We are not to be partisan. And I'm sure even APC is watching. Because even their own mistake of Muslim, I know they will be thinking of how to adjust and make their structure in such a way that it will pacify the Christian. Okay? Now, structure, and that is every party will tend to follow the lead of PDP. When we are talking of structure, parties like Labour may not be the third in political structure. Really? Forget about the media hype and whatever. Right now, the party that is third is APGA, because they have a state. And in that state, they have all the paraphernalia of office, both for legislative, judiciary, and executive. Another state that must be watched closely is Ekiti, because SDP may still win Ekiti, but they are still going through both pre-electoral, pre-election and post-election court problems. If SDP wins, it means that SDP is short to number 3 among the new one. It will not be APC or PDP, number 1 or 2, whichever. Then SDP number 3, because of structure. I mean, when you are defining politics and what makes people win election, to me, Labour is like a water lettuce. You know water lettuce? Water lettuce is a certain plant. You know, it's on top of the water. It has no taproot. So Labour is a party that has no taproot. It's just amalgamation of people without structure. If there is election today, they don't have structure to handle at polling booth. There must be canvasser. Even when you have the money and you want to rig and you want to buy vote, you must still pass it through the structure. Once you don't have structure, your money that is from abroad or whatever is meaningless.
Now we have just a few minutes to wrap up this interview.
All right.
But I'd like to know, even though Wike, as you said, is number 13 on the list, but Seyi Makinde was given a permanent role, whom we know is Wike's ally. So how do you expect this to play out? Will they break ranks to support Atiku Abubakar?
No, they won't break rank in the sense that Seyi Makinde is representing geopolitical zone. Okay? Wike is not even representing his own geopolitical zone. So in the hierarchy, once you have the chairman, you have the deputy chairman. I think they made mistake in the write-up. They said deputy president. No, it should be deputy chairman south, deputy chairman north. Then at the geopolitical zones, you now have vice chairman southwest, vice chairman northeast, you know, 6 people like that. So that's the structure. Okay? So it's not relegating Wike to, and it's not backbiting Wike in any way. If Wike is accepted today with his condition, then you could be sure that Makinde will rally around the southwest. But in the absence of that, we shall wait and see.
Well, we will wait and see. It's always never a dull day with the PDP, is it? Thank you so much, Mr. Kayode Otitoju, for coming in to analyze these stories with us.